Social Anxiety Detox. Practical solutions for dealing with everyday anxiety, fear, awkwardness, shyness, and how to be yourself in social situations. Written by Stephen West. Narrated by Raymond Lawrence. Introduction. This book is for you if you suffer mild anxiety on a daily basis. By reading this book, you will walk away knowing how to combat your anxiety in several natural ways. Anxiety is something that can be treated through medications as well as alternative non-medical interventions. If you are suffering from severe anxiety, then you will need to seek medical help. It is imperative that you know exactly what you are dealing with and how to effectively deal with it through traditional and non-traditional interventions. You will learn which food you should eat and which food to stay away from. Physical exercise practices to help keep you calm. How to get out of your own head and stop worrying about how you are perceived by others. How to get hold of your anxieties and take control. How to calm your mind and stop it from going 1,000,000 miles per hour. How to deal with specific social situations. Stop missing valuable opportunities that you will never get again because of anxiety. Practical strategies to overcome anxiety. This book is divided into 2 sections, with each section pertaining to a specific aspect of healing your anxiety. In the first section, you will learn how diet and exercise can help you reduce your anxiety and lower your stress levels. It also talks about the best kinds of food to eat and how to use them to heal your mind. You will learn what to avoid as well as why it should be avoided. Next, you will learn about how to pick the right exercises to do for anxiety relief and stress reduction. I talk about the benefits of exercise and the reason that exercise and diet cannot cure your anxiety alone. In this second section, I will go over all the details you will need to know to control your mental health and maintain a healthy mindset. I talk about the negative talk that those who suffer from anxiety often do and how this will affect your body, mind, and spirit. Then I go into detail about the ways that several alternative mindset techniques can help you move beyond the anxious, nervous person you are and into a better, healthier mindset. I talk about how the self-talk that is self-defeating will prevent you from moving forward in life and how you can change that. Section 1. Diet and Exercise for Social Anxiety. Chapter 1. Diet. The key to maintaining a healthy mind and body is to eat properly, take in the required amount of water per day, and stay active. Few people do this. That is why many people are developing symptoms such as depression, fibromyalgia, and even social anxiety. In this book, I am going to give you a roadmap that you can follow to alleviate your anxiety symptoms. It is often said that you need to drink many glasses of water per day and eat fruits and vegetables. But how often do you follow those regimens? I would guess not too often. With the readily available source of soda, candy, snacks, and processed food, many people do not find time in their busy schedule to eat healthily and oftentimes choose something unnutritious over something quick and easy. They are failing to realize that healthy foods and drinks can be just as quick and easy as the ones that are simply pop in the oven or microwave and wait. It is a large misconception that the healthier the food, the higher the cost at the grocery store. In fact, the truth is, the more healthy food you eat, the less you will have to purchase because your body will be provided the sustenance that it needs to live, and you will feel better and look better. Doctors are always telling their patients to eat right, and those patients usually just mindlessly agree. Then, they walk out of the office and buy a McDonald's cheeseburger with fries and a large Coke. The next day, they wonder why their medicines are not working and why they feel much worse. When you fill your body full of processed, over-preserved food, you are blocking your body from performing at top speed. It inhibits the body's ability to regenerate as well as prevents you from being able to move as fluidly as you would need to. This causes you to become sedentary as well as develop conditions like social anxiety. Social anxiety is related to a chemical imbalance in the body, but it can be changed and altered by eating right, get the proper nutrition, vitamins, and minerals, as well as exercising and practicing mindfulness. All of these things, when combined, can contribute to a healthy mind. The best way to incorporate new food or diet plans into your life is to start out slowly, eliminating things that are not healthy for you. For instance, sugar. Sugar is one of the leading causes of fat and that excess weight around your midsection. It can contribute to back pain, degenerative disorders, and even make you be in a constant state of ups and downs, which can contribute to anxiety, depression, and several other mood disorders. Do you not believe me? Consider how you feel 2 hours after you had a sugary soda or a candy bar. Do you start to feel like you need a pick-me-up? Do you feel energized? Are you yawning? When you ate that candy bar or drank that soda, did you feel like you could suddenly finish the day or just get a burst of energy that helped you start your day? This is the same for coffee, sugar-laden cereals, and anything else that has processed sugars in it. This is due to the false energy boost that sugar as well as caffeine gives you. People are designed to boost their own energy through a proper diet that contains protein, vitamins, and minerals. When you use false energy substitutes for your energy boost, you will prevent your body from processing the appropriate vitamins and minerals, and, in turn, gain excess fat and calories that are not necessary to sustain life. This creates a lack of sleep, stress, social and general anxiety, as well as depression and multiple other health-related conditions. When you develop unhealthy eating and exercise habits due to the excess use of sugar, you begin to break down the body's ability to function on a normal level, which results in unexplained illnesses and ailments. This becomes an endless cycle of unhealthy habits, visits to the doctor, more medicine, and more visits to the doctor, leading to a painful and disease-ridden death. With proper diet and nutrition, you can avoid the cost of the medical world and prevent yourself from suffering in your lifetime. Food that will alleviate anxiety. So, what kinds of food are beneficial to social anxiety? Since anxiety is located in the brain, it is best to eat food that are backed by science to boost brain power and increase vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, as well as DHA. In the past 10 years or so, scientists started to see a huge benefit to added DHA in our food as well as baby formulas. That is why they have been adding them to these products. Brain power is essential to life and to the reduction of anxiety. Salmon. Salmon is a great source of vitamin D, omega-3, and DHA. It has been known to reduce inflammation as well as provide a dysfunction within the brain cells, which leads to social and general anxiety as well as mental health. This source of vitamins and nutrients has also shown that it aids in the ability to accept changes in your life much easier and handle the stress of life and anxiety without added symptoms. Turmeric. Turmeric has been used for a long time to reduce inflammation in arthritic people, but it also has another use for those that suffer from anxiety. The ingredient curcumin is believed to promote brain health as well as prevent the symptoms of anxiety. In studies, scientists have seen an increase or boost in the omega-3s that are associated with DHA when test subjects use turmeric. This is an advantage to the use of turmeric since it helps with the body's ability to synthesize effectively. It has also shown a reduction in brain cell damage as well as increasing the blood's antioxidant levels, which reduces the anxiety levels. Turkey. The next time you are sitting down to dinner with your family, watch how many of them who eat the turkey take a nap shortly afterward. It is a well-known fact that turkey contains tryptophan. But what exactly does that mean? Simply put, tryptophan is the amino acid that is necessary in the body for the serotonin that is found within the neurotransmitters to help you regulate your mood and sleep patterns. Through countless studies, it has been shown that the tryptophan found in the turkey is also helping those that suffer from anxiety to reduce the effects of the stress within the body. This makes turkey not only a great way to get a nap, but also a great way to reduce your anxiety. Chamomile. As a kind of herb, it is used in teas to help with the reduction in the effects of anxiety on those that suffer from generalized anxiety as well as social anxiety. The antioxidants found within are a benefit to inflammation as well as anxiety that is found within most people. It is also calming and oftentimes used to help children go to sleep. Several studies have shown great improvements in those that are suffering from depression as well as several forms of anxiety. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate has been a long-time staple in many people's kitchens for years, but only a few know of the benefits that it provides. Not only does it provide benefits for inflammation as well as antioxidants that prevent cancer, but it also provides a way to reduce your anxiety. By improving the blood flow, you are able to provide a way to adapt to situations that are new or adjust the anxiety and mood disorders in those that suffer from these ailments. In one study, scientists found that a 74% consumption of dark chocolate twice per week would help alleviate the effects of stress hormones within the body. These are the hormones that are associated with anxiety. This includes the cortisol as well as the catecholamines. However, consume this at low levels since it is high in calories. Consuming 1 to 1.5 ounces is an appropriate serving size. Kale. With such a prevalent epidemic of anxiety within young people and those that are highly stressed, researchers are looking into ways that food can alleviate these symptoms. Recently, it was found that kale, which is high in antioxidants, can help with that goal. The dark green leafy vegetable kale is loaded with vitamin E and beta-carotene, which is an excellent food option not only for salads, it is also an alternative for potato chips. It boosts the brain's functionality and supports the reduction of anxiety. Green tea. Green tea is loaded with amino acids that have been known to contribute to the positive effect of anxiety and brain health. This amino acid is L-theanine, and it has been found to reduce the responses of stress which many will associate with anxiety as well as heart rate. When drinking green tea, you will see lower levels of cortisol, which has been linked with the stress hormone. This is partly due to the ability to prevent the overexcitement of nerve endings. With its increase in the GABA as well as serotonin, dopamine, and neurotransmitters, it is reducing the effects of anxiety over time. Add in the apogallocatechin gallate, and you have a powerful tea that is designed to alleviate anxiety as well as increase brain power. Water. Water is a necessary source for maintaining your body's health and vitality. But did you also know that it is an excellent source for alleviating anxiety? Keeping your body hydrated will cut down on the rigidity in your bones as well as the functionality within your brain. To maintain your hydration levels, you need to know how to recognize that you are beginning to be dehydrated. Scientists have found that we will not be informed of our dehydration until we are at a 1 to 2% of dehydration, which means that we can easily be dehydrated before we even know we need to have a drink. That makes it difficult to assess whether or not you have drunk the proper amount of water that is needed for your body. Since this will affect your body and your mind's functionality, it is crucial that you drink the proper amount of water each day. You should also consider that the more active you are, the more water your body will need. When dehydration sets in, you will start to notice that anxiety is setting in. This connects the symptoms of anxiety with dehydration. This is believed to be a warning system that is built into our systems to warn us to find water sources. Blueberries. Have you ever noticed that you crave for vitamin C when you are stressed out or anxious? The next time you experience some stress or anxiety, consider eating some blueberries. They are loaded with vitamin C as well as antioxidants that will provide you with anxiety relief. Due to the antioxidants that are packed into the blueberries, you will be able to prevent your anxiety episodes and reduce the bad effects. Yogurt. Many people have been raving about the benefits of yogurt mainly because of the probiotic benefits. But there are some hidden benefits that many do not know about, and those can be beneficial to those suffering from anxiety. Recent studies show that yogurt can promote your mental and gut health in similar ways. It works to inhibit the neurotoxins within the brain as well as free radicals that can cause damage to tissue within the nerves. This can alleviate your anxiety as well as heal the nerve tissues within the brain. Within this study, anxious individuals were able to use yogurt to cope with symptoms of anxiety and stress. Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts have been known by many as a great nut to eat within a mixed nut blend. However, they do not realize in what aspect they are benefiting you. The Brazil nut is loaded with selenium. This nutrient has been found to reduce inflammation over time and contains antioxidants that are powerful at handling cell damage and cancer. However, in high doses, you will receive some bad side effects, so for a typical adult, only 400 micrograms are recommended per daily dosage. Eggs. Eggs contain a high amount of vitamin D, which makes them a great food for those suffering from anxiety. Eggs are a great meal any time of the day since they provide proteins that will fuel your day. With all the essential vitamins and minerals needed to fuel your day, you cannot go wrong eating eggs in all meals. The amino acids contained in eggs, such as tryptophan, will help you with your serotonin levels, which will regulate the sleep habits, mood, behavior, as well as memory of those who consume them daily. It also promotes the functions of the brain and reduces anxiety levels. Avocado. Avocado is sweeping the nation as an excellent alternative to fatty food since it provides healthy fats and improves your mood. But it does so much more than that. It can provide you with an excellent source of vitamin B as well as serotonin, neurotransmitters, and thiamine, niacin, and riboflavin. These will all provide positive benefits to the nervous system, which reduces the effects of anxiety and stress. Pumpkin seeds. If you are looking for a great source of potassium as well as the zinc mineral, then you are in luck. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with all of those necessary growth-sprouting nutrients that help not only with the maintenance of the tissue and bones, but also with the reduction of the effects of stress and anxiety. This makes it a great source for those who suffer from social anxiety as well as generalized anxiety. Asparagus. It has been proven that those who suffer from anxiety are dealing with elevated levels of folate deficiencies, and this can be contributing to the anxiety and mental health they are experiencing. Asparagus is an excellent source of folate, which will boost your moods and can provide 2/3 of the recommended value of folate needed per day. Food that will not alleviate your anxiety. Now that I have given you a large list of food that will support your reduction in anxiety levels and stress management, I would like to focus on the food and drinks that you should not consume. These items will deter you away from having a proper diet and maintaining your mental health. Sugary or processed food. These items are completely unhealthy for you. It is no surprise that so many people in the United States are dealing with being overweight and unhealthy. With the prevalent availability of carb-loaded, fatty, sweet, processed food, the food pyramid has been modified to include these items which gave the United States people the false impression that these foods were healthy to eat. What they did not know was that once you process food items and then package them for sale, they lose any nutritional value that they may have had. This means that you are simply filling the empty void that is located within your stomach. If your cabinets at home are full of processed, canned, or prepackaged food or sugary sweet food, then you are statistically creating patterns of unhealthy eating which will contribute to heart disease, weight gain, anxiety, and mental health disorders. Alcohol. Alcohol is a known depressant that slows your ability to think properly. But what you did not realize is that the more you drink, the more likely you will develop an anxiety or depression disorder. Although many people believe that alcohol calms your nerves, it actually can stress you out and cause a spike in your blood sugar levels as well as dehydrate your body and create an impairment within your brain's functions. All of this would lead to anxiety and feeling of anxious energy. Then, as an avid drinker, you will feel the need to drink more, and this becomes a cycle that is hard to break. If you experience lots of change, you can jump on this cycle, and although you think you are alleviating the feelings, you are really providing a breeding ground for more anxiety and stress. Coffee and caffeinated fluids. When you choose something to drink, reach for the things that do not include caffeine or coffee. These substances tend to increase your anxiety and stress levels. Since these types of drinks are used as a false energy boost, they are usually drunk when you need to take in a more natural source of energy. This can create a deficiency in your body and in turn create stress and anxiety. The binge of sugary and caffeinated drinks creates a decrease in serotonin levels, and this can be damaging to your ability to stabilize your mood. These are only a few of the reasons that caffeine and coffee are not suggested for those suffering from nervous, anxious energy and anxiety. With all this information to stomach, it is best to remember that you need a few vital nutrients and vitamins that will help you to maintain the levels of serotonin, omega-3s, and antioxidants that are necessary to avoid the symptoms of anxiety. Below is a breakdown of the information that is contained within this section for a quick reference at a later date. Choose complex carbs instead of heavy carbs. Eat lots of protein to start your day. Avoid alcohol and caffeine at all times. Drink plenty of fluids such as water. Add dark chocolate to your diet in about 1 to 1.5 ounces per day to boost moods. Include folate and vitamin B to your diet. Add in magnesium as well as omega-3 and tryptophan to help with the maintenance of moods. Eat the low glycemic food for a more natural way to control your moods and energy. Add in zinc from sources such as cashews, oysters, and other seafood favorites. In this chapter, I discussed the way to maintain a proper diet for your anxiety. I talked about how eating right will help you to feel better and reduce the anxiety and stress that you feel every day. In the next chapter, I'm going to apply exercise to your new diet plan and discuss how using exercise can increase your endorphins and change your anxiety levels. I talk about specific exercises that will bring you more benefits and several steps that you can use to accomplish your exercise goals. Chapter 2. Exercise and a Healthy Lifestyle. Everyone needs to exercise, even if it is the most basic of exercises. But not everyone does. Why do you think most people do not exercise? It is not due to time, since most people spend a couple of hours in front of their TV binge-watching the latest fab TV show. It is mostly because, with modern medicine, if you have been suffering from anxiety, then exercise is another thing that would benefit you in the long run. Not only is exercise beneficial to your overall health, but it is also helpful to your brain's ability to function on a level that is not inadequate. To maintain your mental health state, you will need to increase your heart rate every day. This helps kick in endorphins that give you natural energy and helps you process the food that you have been taking in. It also enables you to decrease the fat and carbs that you have been eating. Healthy eating is not going to solve the whole problem. Without exercise, you are simply setting yourself up to fail. Below, I will go into detail about a few exercises that can make anxiety symptoms be reduced and sometimes eliminate them altogether. With each type of exercise, you are getting a healthy dose of cardio, as well as adding oxygen to your lungs and increasing your endorphins. How exercise benefits those with anxiety. Physicians have been encouraging exercise for a super long time, and patients have been ignoring them. But times are changing. Recently, a surge of new exercise studios has sparked the need for people to get into the gym and start an exercise routine which will provide them with tons of benefits. Some of the benefits that you will find when starting an exercise routine is a reduction in fatigue, increased alertness, enhanced cognitive functioning, as well as concentration levels that are increased. Once stress takes control of your body, you will start to feel the impact through anxiety and depression. The entire body will feel the effects of stress when you let the stress levels in your body get too high. That is why exercise is an excellent addition to your lifestyle. By adding in exercise, You are reducing the stress levels that have been developing in your mind and body and then cutting the anxiety levels that you will experience due to that stress. Exercise will also improve upon your ability to have a restful night and wake up feeling more energy and more alert for your day. By sleeping more hours at night, you are allowing your body to regenerate, thus reducing the stress and anxiety that is controlling your system. In scientific studies, there are proven results that show that a regular exercise routine will provide you with a decrease in your tension levels, improved sleep patterns, higher self-esteem, and a stabilized mood. This is an all-powerful anti-anxiety remedy that is easy to incorporate into your daily life. Many people get stuck on which exercise routine is the best to utilize for anxiety reduction, and this can be answered with one simple word: any. Any exercise will help you with the reduction of your anxiety. This means that walking for 10 minutes per day is as good for your body as a 45-minute workout would be. This simple walk will help elevate your mood and can be as beneficial to a headache as aspirin or Tylenol would be. The best part is by walking in the sun, you are gaining lots of vitamin D from the rays. Through several studies, there is documented proof that exercise reduces the levels of anxiety that people suffer with on a daily basis. In fact, a routine of regular exercise will work similarly to medication, or even better. It is recommended that every person should exercise for at least 2.5 hours of moderate to light exercise within a week, and 1.25 hours of intense and vigorous exercise within the same week. A sample exercise program that will work to incorporate these recommended amounts of time would be 5 sessions of 30 minutes of either one of these exercises: walking, jogging, or dancing 3 to 5 times every single week. During warmer weather, make sure that you are well hydrated and you have appropriate clothing so that you do not burn. The sun is brutal and can be dangerous to your health and skin. When you exercise in colder weather, be sure to bundle up. Even though you are going to be sweating, you can always remove things as you go, so the more the better. Make sure your head, hands, feet, and ears are fully protected, and there is nothing that can get frostbite. Notice the weather and the wind chill. You do not want to get sick or frostbite. If the weather is extremely cold, then you will need to take a break from your exercise routine or simply take it indoors until it warms up. The benefits of exercise for those that choose to use it can be seen in those that are less active than most people. Use exercise for a consistent length of time, have severe episodes of anxiety, and maintain an aerobic exercise routine to include swimming, jogging, as well as dancing. Simply put, include one of these into your day and you will see more significant benefits than just improvements on your figure. Dancing, brisk walks, biking, swimming, running, tennis. Yoga. Yoga is a great way to get the physical benefits of exercise with a meditative practice that instills the practice of deep breathing. This practice of deep breathing will help your mind to be calmer and your stress level to be reduced, which lowers the anxiety levels. Yoga has been practiced by many different types of people. It began with the yogis in the eastern country of India, but it slowly migrated to the United States and is now practiced by millions of people all over the world. The practice of yoga is designed to help connect your mind with your body, and this helps to alleviate the stress that you experience throughout the day. The focus on yoga is the core breathing techniques that it teaches you, along with the stretching of the limbs and the strengthening of your inner core. Each one of these will help you to slow the thinking process down and begin to utilize your breathing in a much more rhythmic way. Since yoga focuses on breathing, it is beneficial to your mental health needs. With each breath that you draw in, you are adding oxygen to your lungs, and then as you release the breath, you are letting go of the anxious, nervous energy that is being stored inside of you. These techniques that are taught during yoga classes can be utilized outside of the classroom, especially the breathing methods. There is a technique that was made famous by Andrew Weil, which technique focuses on the 4-7-8 technique of breathing. Yoga encompasses the relaxation techniques that you need to improve upon your anxiety, with added benefits of easing stress, enhancing the mindfulness of the practitioner, and reducing the nervous energy that they are feeling. This nervous energy is the culprit behind the anxiety. This is why yoga can benefit those that suffer from anxiety and mental health. Breathing exercises involve using your nostrils to breathe in deeply and then holding that breath for the count of 4, 7, or 8 seconds, and then breathing out slowly from your mouth. You would do this for a count of 3 to 5, and then use those breaths to fluidly move through the motions of the yoga pose that you are trying to do. Each pose is designed to give you a specific benefit for certain parts of your body. For instance, the sun salutation will help you stretch your spine and help you regulate your breathing. It also builds core muscles. Then you can start to experience a calmer mindset and alleviate the anxiety. As with any exercise practice, you will need to consult a doctor to make sure the exercise program is right for you and your current health needs. CrossFit. CrossFit is another way to reduce the stress and anxiety of the day. There are several ways to utilize CrossFit for anxiety so that it works similar to or better than medication. CrossFit allows for the participant to escape from their world and focus only on the exercise they are doing. This helps them develop new goals and reduce the anxiety they are feeling within themselves. When you enter that CrossFit workout room and see all the other people in there working their hardest to achieve a CrossFit goal, then it helps you to let go of the anxiety that has been building inside of you and forget about all the failures of the day. This allows you to come out of your fears and focus on a goal that is positive and beneficial to your future. When you start at a CrossFit facility, you'll be advised to leave your pride and coolness at the door. This is simply because the actions that would take place during a session could be rather embarrassing if you were to concentrate on the negatives. CrossFit is designed to increase your core strength and build your muscles and conditioning through repetitive cardiovascular as well as respiratory endurance. Utilizing CrossFit for exercise alone will build your power, strength, stamina, coordination, flexibility, speed, balance, agility, accuracy. CrossFit is something that people of all ages and sizes can do and does not require you to be physically fit to begin. Although you are not fit when you start, by the time you get a few sessions in, you should see some drastic changes in your physical appearance. With CrossFit, there is no need to stress about anything. You will walk into the studio with stress on your back, and you will walk out with sweat and sore muscles and no more stress. This will help to increase your endorphins and reduce your anxiety tremendously. The reason CrossFit works so well is that you are not alone. You are in a room with several other people who are doing the same thing you are doing and looking just as silly. They are focusing on gaining that core strength and building that technique while working out all the stress from the day. CrossFit is designed to train you to work until you finish. There is no quitting, there is not sitting down, there is no giving up. Pilates. Pilates is a great alternative remedy for anxiety and can be utilized for helping with rejuvenation, relaxation, as well as releasing tension within your body. Pilates provides you with the ability to focus your mind and be in the moment. It allows you to leave your cares at the door and reduce the anxieties that have been creating health problems. The principle of Pilates is to breathe, which triggers the blood in the brain to be oxygenated for a calmer mindset. Through the breathing, you receive a physiological reaction that helps the natural decrease of anxiety and stress within the body. 5 simple Pilates moves that will help you to reduce your anxiety. Roll downs that are seated. Sit with your legs in a bent position and your feet lying flat on the floor. Fold your arms across your chest and extended outward in front of your body. Lay your palms facing your thighs on the side. After breathing in, exhale and roll slowly through your spine, tucking in the tailbone and laying down on your yoga mat. Make sure you lay one vertebra at a time on the ground. Keep your abdominal muscles completely engaged while doing this movement. Next, do the same thing but in reverse. Start with a slow lift of your head and roll the vertebra, one at a time to the starting position. Do these 5 more times. Bridges. Laying on your yoga mat and flat on your back, bend your legs with the feet lying flat on your yoga mat. After breathing in, exhale and allow your hips to lift up off the floor in a line that is lined up straight with the floor. Squeeze tightly with your glutes and continue to engage the core, making sure to hold on for 1 count each. Make sure your shoulders do not leave the floor. Your back should not be overextended either. You should not arch past the neutral either. Return to your beginning position and then repeat these steps 10 more times. Leg windshield wipers. Lying flat on the yoga mat with your knees bending upwards, place your feet lying flat on the mat. Make a T and stretch your arms all the way out with your palms facing toward the sky. After breathing, exhale, and then as you drop your legs slowly to one side, make sure your knees are together. Use your abdomen to have a controlled movement and avoid rolling your hips off the mat as you are twisting. Repeat these steps in the opposite direction and then repeat the setup 10 more times. Fold forward. In a seated position with your legs straight out in front of you, flex your feet. As you breathe in, reach your arms all the way out to the side and then above your head. Once you are stretched, exhale and reach forward with your arms and bend all the way of using the hip joints to stay in a straight line. Hold on for a count of 1. As you breathe in, stand back up slowly and bring your arms to a position that is to the side and stretch straight out. Then reach to the sky with your arms and above your head. Once you come to a sitting position, you will be able to find your length and stretch the spine. Make sure that your neck is long throughout your entire session. Rotations that are seated. While sitting down on the floor, you will need to extend your legs straight in front of you and make sure they are spread as wide as your hips. Sit up tall and stretch the back. Tilt your body slightly off your butt bone and find the length within your neck and spine. Next, bring the hands from your side and place them behind your head, with elbows out to the side. Rotate your body gently towards your right side. Feel the burn in your abs to create movement, and then visualize you stretching your length and getting taller as you are twisting. Return your body to the center and continue to repeat the twist on the other side. Repeat the sequence 10 more times. In this chapter, I talked about ways that you can incorporate exercise into your treatment plan for your anxiety. I also discussed several types of exercise and the benefits they bring to those that are suffering from anxiety. In the next chapter, I will go into detail on how CBD oil is used to help those that are suffering from anxiety to relieve their stress and anxiety and improve their ability to be in social situations. CBD oil is a derivative of the THC plant and is being used by many doctors to treat several people for multiple conditions. Chapter 3. CBD Oil. CBD oil is the non-psychoactive ingredient found within the marijuana plant. It is used to treat several disorders, one of which is anxiety. This compound is known for the benefits that it provides with many illness, cancers, and ailments. This cannabinoid ingredient has been studied for some time now, and scientists are finding new and improved ways to not only extract the CBD oil, but also use it to benefit those that are taking it. CBD oil comes in several varieties to include edibles that can be used as cooking oils, as well as medications that can be used as drops, and even a type of oil that can be smoked. The difference between CBD and THC is that the CBD does not produce any high reaction. Research is sketchy on whether or not CBD oil is beneficial to those that suffer from anxiety. However, many scientists are fully supporting the use of CBD oil for anxiety. In fact, many doctors are now prescribing it as a treatment option. In 2010, there was a study run that showed positive results for those suffering from social anxiety disorder who have used CBD oil as part of their treatment plan. They utilized brain scans to recognize the changes within the blood flow that is seen in those that use CBD for anxiety. The CBD helped to alter the way the brain responded to the anxiety and helped the participants to feel better. Although this is just one of the research studies performed on the use of CBD oil's benefits, it started the process of other studies being conducted. The long-term effects have not been documented on how CBD oils will affect the patients, but the benefits so far are strong and far outweigh any negative results so far recorded. Although there is no definite benefit of CBD oil in those that suffer from anxiety, there is some evidential proof that it works. It is being tested for uses with anxiety disorders of all kinds, including depression, panic disorder, PTSD, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. The use of CBD oil is wired to work with the neurotransmitters, such as dopamine and serotonin. This encourages happiness as well as relaxation. Because of the effect of CBD lowering the neurons within the hippocampus, your brain is able to reduce the anxiety that is being fired within those neurons. It will relieve the anxiety and help regulate the functions of the brain. The reason for the pleasant sensation is not due to the psychoactive compounds found in THC, but the lowering of the neurons. Since CBD activates the dopamine, the glutamate, and the receptors of adenosine, it is able to regulate the emotions that are connected to reward and feelings of pleasure. This leads to an increased memory function as well as cognition, and the learning sensors being heightened. Case studies of those who use CBD oil for anxiety. In a study done by a clinical trial, there were 24 people who lived with social anxiety disorder, which were tested with 600 milligrams of CBD or placebo treatment. This treatment was applied 1.5 weeks prior to performing in a public speaking event that would have produced the anxiety they were suffering from. The group that received the CBD oil showed a significant decrease in the cognitive impairments that they struggled with, along with the reduction in anxiety, and were able to deliver their speeches with more ease. This shows there is a correlation between CBD oil's benefits and social anxiety. How to take CBD oil for anxiety. CBD oil can be taken in 2 different ways: inhaled, swallowed. When you swallow CBD oil, it takes a bit longer to take effect, but the benefits are just the same. It needs to pass through the digestive system in order to take effect within your body. This process could take an hour or longer. But the positive thing about this is that the method of ingesting will also provide for the effects to last longer. You can use the ingestion method in several different ways: pill form, spray form, tincture form, edibles form. When using a tincture or a spray bottle, you will simply place the CBD oil under your tongue. You will then hold the oil in your mouth for a bit and then swallow it all down. The empty pill capsule method is designed to utilize vegetable capsules along with the oil to take as an oral medication. Although vegetable capsules are slightly cheaper, there is a CBD capsule that can be used along with the oil. When you use the oils in edibles, you can use them while cooking candies, gummy bears, and even fruit chews. This is a fun way of using the CBD oil to get all the added benefits of the compound. CBD oil is still in the infancy stages, but the benefits are being shown in all of the studies that are being done by scientists. As the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. So, the more research that is done, the more documentation there will be about the benefits of CBD oil with not only those that suffer from social anxiety, but also those that suffer from depression and many other ailments that are common in those that have mental health issues. In the next chapter, I will go over some more natural remedies that can be used to combat the anxiety that you have been suffering from. Although I have already talked about the kinds of food that could help, in the next chapter, I will mention specific herbs that will benefit you and your family in the long run. Chapter 4. Natural Remedies for Anxiety. Natural remedies are found in some of the most unexpected places. Although many people are familiar with the previous listed natural treatments for anxiety, there are a few that most people would be surprised about. Below, I will talk about all the things that you can use which are natural remedies for anxiety and stress. Hops. Many people know about the use of hops in beer, but they do not know about the use of hops for anxiety relief. There is a sedative compound that is found in hops that can alleviate anxiety and help create a more relaxed feeling. The use of hops is often found in sedatives to promote sleep along with valerian. However, you should avoid these if you are already taking a sedative. Valerian. Valerian is a sedative that can be used for sleep as well as for anxiety relief. The smell is nasty, but it is a great benefit to those that suffer from either insomnia or anxiety. If you are interested in trying this natural remedy, then use it prior to bed, instead of right before you drive to work. Combine this with a few hops and some lemon balm or chamomile, and you will have a great anxiety relief and stress reducer. Lemon balm. This remedy has been used since the Middle Ages to reduce your anxiety and stress as well as help with sleep. By taking a 600 milligram dosage of lemon balm, you can reduce your anxiety and de-stress on a regular basis. Start with a small dose and work with it until you reach a dosage that is right for you. Passion flower. Although passion is in the name of this natural remedy, it does not provide any benefits to passion. However, it does provide benefits to those that suffer from anxiety. Since the Germans determined the use for nervous conditions, it has been making waves amongst the natural remedy enthusiasts. Try this as a sedative and receive benefits for not only anxiety but also sleep issues. However, you should not use this remedy for more than a month at a time. Lavender. Lavender is known for its relaxing effect, which is why it is included in baby lotions and shampoos. The aroma is intoxicating and creates a calming effect when used in a diffuser or in the bath. When used in dental offices, the dentist found that patients were less anxious during their procedures. By using lavender for anxiety relief, you are getting a great smelling aroma with the benefits of anxiety relief and a calming atmosphere. Natural remedies are a great way to utilize treatments that do not require medical intervention. When you are able to take care of your own needs at home without having to seek medical help, and you can prevent adding that laboratory-created chemicals into your system, you are better able to care for your own needs and develop methods of reducing anxiety that works for you. Meditation. Many people are using meditation all over the world to combat some mental health issues as well as common health concerns. It is the act of being mindful that makes it so powerful. By taking you out of your head, you are able to move beyond the fear and anxiety and create a more calming environment. Meditation is easy to learn, and it can be useful for many different things. By practicing your breathing and pushing your thoughts aside, you are able to transform yourself into a new world that is outside the natural confines of this world. You are able to see your pain from a different standpoint and move beyond it. In this chapter, I discussed all the different natural remedies that will help with the alleviation of anxiety. In the next chapter, I will start the second section, and you will learn other methods that will help you to move beyond the anxiety and into a place of happiness. You will develop some peace and calm and see the world in a different light. Section 2. Mentally Overcoming Negative Thoughts. Chapter 5. Negative thoughts and how they affect your anxiety. Negative thoughts are self-defeating thinking patterns that create beliefs about yourself that are not factual. They are your views, values, and attitudes towards yourself that shape how you see yourself and the world that you live in. These types of negative thoughts can create a belief system that is setting you up for failure and unhappiness. When you live with a negative thought mindset, you will be dissatisfied with the things that take place in your life. You will also be unfulfilled with your achievements, and your goals will never be enough, even when you accomplish them. These negative thoughts will hurt your belief about who you are and how the world sees you in your eyes. Oftentimes, people who live with this type of limiting belief system will see their own self-worth by the measure of accomplishments that they have achieved. They find that the achievements are not as great as they wished or hoped for, and then find fault in the things that they do. This then creates a downward spiral that prevents them from achieving their goals and reaching a position in life that they dream of. These self-defeating beliefs will fall in two individual categories: the intrapersonal beliefs and interpersonal beliefs. Intrapersonal beliefs. This belief system pertains to the thoughts that you hold about you personally. These will revolve around the personal issues that are driving you to find perfection, achievements, and approval. Interpersonal beliefs. These beliefs are the ones that pertain to the way you carry on your relationships. These involve feelings that are related to submissiveness, fear of conflict, and blame. Negative patterns of thinking. When you live with negative patterns of thinking, you do not always have these thoughts. They tend to surface when you have faced a serious issue. These thoughts come up when you are dealing with stress and are coping with the self-defeating beliefs in a reinforced way. They will affect the definition of your worth and views of your achievements. Once you face a negative setback, you will start to feel that you are not worthy. You will overanalyze the situation and blow it out of proportion to the actual event that took place. The situation will become over-exaggerated, and this will trigger major anxiety and panic attacks. This will create more negative thoughts, and you will start to label yourself as a failure, which will then result in a blaming session that makes you spiral down into a depression. This lowers the self-esteem and can contribute to even more severe symptoms. How do you overcome these negative thoughts and belief patterns that have been learned over time? Because they become habitual, it is hard to overcome them. They are ingrained in your mind and will tear you down until there is nothing left to tear at. When you are trying to rise above these belief systems that are self-defeating, it can take time and a lot of practice. That is where this section comes in. In this section, I will be discussing techniques that you can use to alter the belief systems that are creating the self-defeating episodes which stem into anxiety. Do you face your problems ready to tackle them? Or do you sit back and let it unfold and play the victim role? Do you see your glass as half empty or half full? Are you succumbing to negative belief patterns and self-defeating thoughts? If you are experiencing these situations, then it is time to start incorporating some positive reframing into your life. When you encounter these negative beliefs, stop and reframe it to a positive feeling. Begin to notice the thoughts and words that you speak to yourself, and instead of assuming the worst, focus on the positives in your life. Accept that you need to learn from the mistakes that you have made and move forward without concerning yourself with the victim role. Develop some new positive beliefs about who you are and what the world sees in you. This will require extra effort, as well as a conscious decision to keep monitoring and confronting the beliefs that are creating the self-defeating thoughts, and then turn them into a more empowered belief. One that nurtures you and encourages you to do better. Make sure that these beliefs are not only encouraging, but also realistic to your life. Self-reflection can be an essential aspect of a mindful life that is happy. Unfortunately, this is not always an option for those that suffer from anxiety. When you live with anxiety, You tend to overthink things and overexaggerate the possibilities. For instance, you are in the grocery store and your child is holding your hand. You are going about your shopping, getting all the things on your list. You turn down an aisle, and the aisle is full of other people. As you push through the group to get to the food item that you need, you suddenly realize that you are no longer holding on to your child's hand. You instantly go into panic mode. You imagine the worst possible outcome. You think that someone has stolen your child. He may have wandered off and got lost. It does not matter what happened. What matters is the way that you responded in this scenario. This is the overthinking that is done by someone that is anxious. By adjusting these negative beliefs, you can start to practice a bit of self-care to handle the anxiety when it comes. Anxiety is not a friendly disorder. It rears its ugly head at the most inconvenient times. It is painful to experience and eventually will prevent you from living a life of adventure and normalcy. I have suffered from anxiety off and on for 10 years. At one point, I believed that everything in the world would harm me. I was severely OCD about germs and refused to leave my house for 3 months. This turned into another condition called agoraphobia. Although social anxiety is related to public speaking and social events, it was just as difficult for me to leave the house as it would be for someone who suffered from social anxiety. In fact, many children who suffer from autism will fear social situations and not want to leave their comfort zone. This stems from a negative belief that everything is dangerous or out to get them. They also have fears, thinking that things in the environment that they are not familiar with are dangerous. There are several ways to alter these limiting beliefs, and each one of them has a specific way that they work with your mind to help you change your thought patterns and start to think on a more positive level instinctively. What does negative self-talk do to your mind and body? Our mind is in constant thought mode. We process thoughts in nanoseconds, which means that we think of a new thought every nanosecond. So it is quite surprising that many people have not figured out how to control their thoughts and process them more positively. Take time to really observe what you are thinking about and consider if this is a healthy or an unhealthy thought process. It is best if you are fully able to watch your thoughts and use them to the good. By assessing your mindset, you are able to start working towards your goals and change your perception of how you view yourself. When you notice the pattern of thought that you use, then you will be able to start making those adjustments for a better way of thinking. When your head is filled with negative thoughts, it can create patterns of thinking that will harm your mindset and eventually your body. These thoughts turn into beliefs and eventually your reality. Things like, I am not good enough. Why am I so much of a loser? I am so stupid. I always fail. Not one person likes me. I never have enough. Why do I struggle so much? Those thoughts affect the emotional state of your mind and block you from being able to see the good in yourself and others. It turns into an emotional roller coaster that has you up 1 minute and down the next, which creates depression, anxiety, and self-defeating actions. Eventually, you will self-destruct, and your whole world will crash down around you. It is okay to be down once in a blue moon, but to always be feeling down or living on a roller coaster of emotions is not healthy. If you spend more time in negative thought patterns, then it is best to start a program of healthy positive thinking. Without these positive thoughts, you will end up with sadness, anxiety, fear, apathy, and depression. These thoughts can give you feelings of hopelessness, and this will block you from moving forward with life. If you always feel sad, then you will always respond in a way that is sad to others. This can damage relationships and friendships. It can be physically draining to your mind and your body and create a lethargy that prevents you from doing outside activities. Those that feel sad far too often will not care about the environment that they live in and will be less enthusiastic about cleaning their homes or taking care of themselves. How will those negative thoughts affect your brain's functioning? In several studies, scientists have found that the effects of negative thoughts on your mind can be quite damaging by doing a test of the ability to sort objects into categories. The ones that spent too much time worrying, more than 50%, would have more difficulty sorting objects into their desired locations. As the tasks increased in complexity, the person that spent most of their time worrying would end up failing altogether. The scientists were also able to discover a connection between the increased levels of negative thought patterns and the ability to function appropriately. If the brain is trying to handle complex tasks, then the negative thoughts will interfere and hurt their ability to think concisely as well as process the information that is given properly. Not only does negative thinking make it more difficult to find solutions to your problems, but it also limits your ability to think properly, which limits the problem-solving functions of your brain. What happens to the amygdala when you use negative thinking? If you are one of those people that overreact to all situations and stress, then be forewarned that this will change the way your amygdala functions. In whole, the amygdala is the place where your negative thoughts and experiences are stored. If the amygdala is in a constant fight or flight syndrome, it can affect your prefrontal cortex and create irregular responses to simple stress. For instance, say you are in a traffic jam. If you are a rational thinking person, you will assess the threats and determine that you are fine. This will nullify any stress you have. But if you're in a constant state of fight or flight, you may overreact to the situation and sometimes even respond in violence or try to flee the traffic jam. When you find that you cannot escape, you may actually create a problem for other drivers. How does the thalamus deal with anxiety and stress? The thalamus is the part of the brain that sends out sensory signals and motor signals to the body. It cannot comprehend that a negative thought is not a real threat. When negative thoughts are present, the thalamus will perceive them as real threats and send signals to the body to prepare for danger. Then the body goes into real stress for a perceived threat that is a simple negative thought. This results in increased heart rate, blood pressure that rises, and arousal that is heightened. Imagine that you are sitting in your home, and all of a sudden, you are fearful of the room you are in and the things in the place. There's no real reason to be fearful, but for some reason, you cannot let go of it. You may sweat, feel sick to your stomach, get antsy and want to leave, and even experience a higher blood pressure. You may start to examine the room for the reason behind the threat and find nothing to fear, but you still cannot let go of the fear. This is called a panic attack. It is your thalamus responding to the perceived threat due to a negative thought. Negative thoughts are triggering the brain to be in the fight or flight response that is triggered by threats and stress. This is not healthy if it is done in moments that are not threats. It can affect your physical being and your well-being. How this will affect the cortisol in your system. Too much stress in your system will alter the way your mind works and create a higher rate of anxiety, ADHD, schizophrenia, depression, and mood disorders. People who live with PTSD will show abnormalities within their brains that explains the responses they are receiving. The amount of white and gray matter in your brain can be the difference between information being processed properly and information being processed improperly. Gray matter processes information with neurons, and white matter processes information by fibrous connections to the neurons. Having a case of chronic stress will create more white matter, which will connect with fewer neurons than needed. Having an equal balance of white and gray matter is necessary to maintain the brain's functions. This is also important for regulating the timing that is found within the brain. The disruption can affect the mood of the individual, as well as the association of memories that triggered the mood. Brains will hold on to a bad experience and replay it over and over again. However, it will be less likely to hold on to something that is good. When you use positive thinking to replace the negative thoughts with positive thoughts, you can begin to see changes in your happiness, anxiety levels, as well as stress levels. You will be able to improve upon your mental health, self-confidence, and self-acceptance. When you improve your thinking patterns, you can start to improve upon your brain. This act of replacing the bad with the good is taught to many people around the world. It is used in elementary schools and in counseling sessions for many types of people. When you use positive thoughts, you create a response to the thoughts that is pleasure in your brain, which becomes a reward in itself. Once you experience pleasure, your body will crave more and more of it. Where do negative thoughts stem from? Patterns of self-defeating thoughts and negative thinking will arise from childhood. We establish our beliefs about who we are early in childhood from our parents. This negative self-talk will affect the way we think and act throughout our lifetime. It can even determine where we go in life with our goals and accomplishments. However, it can be changed. It is something that needs to be developed over time. It did not take one night to create these patterns, and it will not take one day to fix them. Once they are fixed, you will be able to have a happier life, with less stress and anxiety in social situations. How do you alter these thoughts to be more positive? In order to change the thoughts to a more positive pattern, you will need to have discipline and some structure as well as spend lots of time practicing. It is highly possible to change the process by which you think, but you will need to spend some time actually putting in the effort to monitor what you are thinking, and then take the time to adjust it to be more positive. Start by looking into how you think. Then take some time to make alternative thoughts that are more positive. Write them down and use these positive thoughts or statements to adjust how you feel about yourself in those moments when a negative thought arises. By using your negative thoughts to frame the positive affirmations, you can begin to make positive statements to yourself on a regular basis that will work towards changing the framework of your mindset. For instance, "I am never good enough" can be changed to "I am enough." Next, you want to say this out loud 15 times or more in a day. This will help solidify the thoughts into existence. Every time you have a negative thought, counter it with a positive one. This will adjust your thinking process over time, and you will find that the negative thoughts begin to leave, and only positive ones will arise. You will be able to see the silver lining in all situations, which will help you eliminate the anxiety that you struggle with. After a while, you will be able to instinctively know when a negative thought or emotion is coming and change it prior to thinking it. Notice the patterns that you exhibit when talking to self. One of the first steps is to notice the patterns that you exhibit during those times that you are self-talking. If you have to write down all the things that you tell yourself throughout the day, whether it is positive or negative, this does not matter, just write it down. These thoughts will help assess whether you are saying mostly negative thoughts to yourself or not. To become more mindful of your internal dialogue, try a few of these steps. Journaling your thoughts and feelings. Carry a journal with you to keep track of your thoughts and feelings. This can be anything that invites you to write in it. For me, it is a leather-bound book, but for you, it could be as simple as a 5-star notebook. Write a summary of the thoughts that you are having, and then try to reframe them into something more positive. You can write about how you feel on certain topics of world events and just get the flow of writing. Eventually, you will be able to fill a notebook. This will also help you examine the inner workings of who you are. I will talk about journaling a bit more in Chapter 7. Stop those negative thoughts. Anytime you notice that you are saying negative thoughts, simply tell yourself to stop. This will help you to stop the negative thinking and reframe it to a more positive thought process. When you say it aloud, it will feel more powerful to you, and you will find yourself more aware of the number of times you are having to stop yourself. Snapping that rubber band. Many therapists and addiction counselors will advise their patients to wear a rubber band around their wrists to snap when they are experiencing derailing thoughts. When you encounter these episodes of negative thoughts, simply snap the rubber band hard on your wrist. It sends a tinge of pain to your brain, which will alter the course that you are about to take. This gives you a negative consequence, however slight, to the negative thoughts that were playing out in your mind. It will also make you more alert to the thoughts that were being allowed to fill your mind. With the rubber band snapping on your skin, you will think twice before saying a negative thought. To add to the effectiveness of this action, try changing the negative thought to a positive one after the rubber band snaps. Negative statements need to be replaced. To stop a bad habit, you will need to change that habit, right? So, in order to prevent negative thinking, you will need to alter the thoughts to more positive thinking. After you have monitored your internal dialogue, you can begin to use this knowledge to change the way you think. Some of the ways that you can improve the way you think would be to use milder words. Change the negatives to a more positive thought or neutral thought. Alter your self-limiting phrases to a question. Milder words can help modify the power that the words hold. For instance, pain is an extraordinarily strong word, so instead, use the word discomfort to express pain. It is not as powerful and still means the same thing. If you are being asked to express the pain level which you feel, it can actually alert you to the pain and cause it to feel more powerful than it really is. Try this in your everyday conversations and see how well it works for you. Try changing hate to do not like and angry to annoyed, and see how it modifies the feelings that are connected to the words. Alter the negative words or thoughts to more positive or neutral thoughts and words. If you are mentally in the complaining mode, then consider rethinking the assumptions that you are making. If you are assuming that things are negative, such as an event is going to be horrible, then reframe it to a more positive assumption. Instead of the event being horrible, think about it like it is a great event. In a situation where your plans got canceled, consider the free time that you are now left with instead of the disappointment that it was canceled. Asking a question instead of saying self-limiting phrases is a better way to reframe these phrases. Assuming that you can't handle something is better stated in a positive light by saying, "How will I handle this?" This is a way to change the negative to a positive question that helps you affirm that you will be able to complete the task, as long as the right process is used. This opens you to more possibilities and the acknowledgement that you can accomplish great things. This chapter held many useful pieces of knowledge that would help you to reduce your anxiety. Throughout this entire book, I have talked of nothing but how to reduce your anxiety, and that is why you are here, right? But oftentimes, the anxiety is being activated by the pressure and stress that you feel every day. Eventually, you break, and it becomes a difficult situation to move beyond. If you are experiencing severe anxiety, then seek a doctor for help and take care of your health needs. Without a proper medical plan and a healthy diet with exercise, you will never be able to treat any ailment that you have. This includes drinking lots of water. The more water you drink, the happier our body will be, and the more capable of handling the stress you will be. In the next chapter, I will talk about the negative self-talk that brings about anxiety and how you can combat it and create a more positive outlook on life. There are so many things that can create anxiety, and most of the time they all stem from your own limiting beliefs. In the next few chapters, you will learn to adjust those limiting beliefs and move beyond them. Chapter 6. Self-talk and how it affects your anxiety. In the previous chapter, I talked about what the effects of negative thoughts and self-talk are and how they affect you in your everyday life. I talked about the responses that you will have within your body and mind. I also talked about the way that you can effectively alter your path. In this chapter, I will go into more details about how to improve the self-talk and what it will mean to you in the long run. How to improve the way you talk to self. One way to develop your self-talk is to alter the negative into affirmations that you can use on a daily basis. These are statements that are empowering, encouraging, and inspirational. You can utilize these affirmations to help you with any difficult situation that you may be in. If you are wishing to see a more positive change in your life, then using affirmations can help that happen. For instance, use affirmations during these times for a more positive experience. Self-esteem improvements, productivity improvements, alter feelings of anger, impatience, and frustration. Increase your confidence before speaking in front of people or at meetings. Change a bad habit. When you pair them with a positive thought pattern, you will be able to create more positive goals that will be accomplished easily and effectively. Affirmations that work. With every action I take, I am able to further my career. I have the job of my dreams. I love every single workday. My career allows me to be closer to the ones I love. My financial abundance is fully supported by my job. My coworkers are enjoyable and love my company. The work I do is appreciated by my boss. As an employee, I am valued. My clients find value in my work and appreciate the work I do. Every single day, I attract new and capable clients. I draw in new opportunities with my positive attitude and work ethic. My work enthuses and excites me daily. My enthusiasm is contagious at work. My home is peaceful and filled with lots of love. Decisions are easy for me to make. I always have positive things to say about my coworkers. My coworkers always have positive things to say about me. I am fulfilled because I always do my best. During breaks at work, I engage in stimulation that is healthy. I feed my body nutritious, healthy food that my body is grateful for. My body grants me tons of energy for the healthy food that I consume. My mind and body are in good health. I am so successful I radiate it from my pores. I am a magnet for love, and it is given back to others in abundance. I am loved by everyone because I give love to everyone. I am attracted to life because my life is attracted to me. I have a long-lasting relationship that is full of love and appreciation. I am kind and compassionate to my partner because he is that way with me. I am physically attracted to my partner, and he is physically attracted to me. My spiritual soul is attracted to my spouse's spiritual soul. I share a life filled with love with my soulmate. I find love everywhere I go, and it fills my life. I am perfectly matched with my spouse because he is perfectly matched with me. My life is divinely beautiful. My partner and I share a deep connection and understanding. My romantic relationship shares a foundation of forgiveness and compassion. I love you is easy for me to say to myself in the mirror. From others, I hear kindness and love because my words are kind and loving. Every day is filled with love. Everything about me is worthy of love because I am lovable. I deserve true love from my partner. Every morning, I wake up filled with joy. I find my partner sexy, and they find me sexy. I love my body, and my body loves me. I am grateful for the way my body efficiently works. I find my body beautiful and appealing, and I accept my body's shape. I only make healthy eating choices that nourish my body. I take care of myself properly by exercising daily. My body is full of energy because I am healthy. Every time I inhale, my body is filled with healing energy. I am grateful that I weigh blank because I am happy. Fill in the weight you desire. I crave food that is healthy and nutritious. Fruits and vegetables taste lovely to me. Every cell in my body is loved. Others respect me because I radiate confidence. I am sexy and desirable because others find me this way. When I look in the mirror, I am filled with happiness. Love, confidence, and hope fill me daily. Enthusiasm fills me as I move through my day. I am grateful for the energy that radiates through my body daily. My confidence increases with every action I take. I am healthier with everything I say, think, and do. I am completely comfortable in this body. Every single day I wake up happy. I fill each day with joy and love. I am enthusiastic about each second of the day. I do fun, exciting, and healthy activities daily. I exude love and compassion daily. Everyone can see the joy and life I have in me. I crave new experiences that are healthy. My relationships are always positive. I see the good in other people. I find opportunities to show I care each and every day. All of my goals are easily accomplished. I only desire the healthiest of things. My desires instantly manifest. Magic and serendipity are filling my life. My thoughts nourish me. In every moment, I am present. I see that beauty is in everything. People treat me with respect because I treat them with respect. Peaceful individuals surround me. The environment I am in is calm, supportive, and peaceful. I have the creativity that allows me to complete my projects. My boss and coworkers will recognize my work in a positive way. I can do all things. My work team values my opinion and the opinion of others. I am successful with all things. I use honesty in my life. My tasks and projects are always on time. I have gratitude for the job I hold at my office. I enjoy working with my coworkers. I exhibit positive energy at work daily. Everything I do is done with excellence. Generosity is my motto. Happiness is in my life. I am a leader for those who know me. Using empowering statements to stop the anxiety. By using positive affirmations, you can change the anxiety that you are feeling on a daily basis. When I was younger, I was in a car accident, and after that, I struggled with anxiety while riding in a car. I combated this anxiety by saying an affirmation to help me through car rides. The affirmation I used was, "I am safe and secure in this place." Even though I did not feel safe and secure, I eventually became accustomed to riding in cars, and now I can do that without feeling too much anxiety. If I start to feel anxious, I go back to my affirmation. Learning how to write your own affirmations is the best way to start building your own. How to develop your own affirmations. An affirmation will target a specific need. That is why it is important to know how to create your own. This will help you build on the affirmations that you use and develop ones for all the situations that you will be going through when dealing with anxiety. There are a few key points that need to be made to address the affirmations that you are trying to develop. Consider the area that you are needing the affirmation for in your life. You wish that you had more patience to deal with other people, or you wish that your coworkers respected you more. If these are similar situations to the ones that you are creating your affirmation for, then you should do fine. Just sit back and write down the areas or behaviors that you wish to change, and then start working on forming the proper words that are needed to create the affirmation. Make sure that the affirmation is compatible with the values you wish to show. Also, make sure that the goal is something that will motivate you to succeed. The affirmation must be achievable and credible. That means that it must be realistic and only be factual. If the affirmation does not hold factual information, then it will feel false and will not work. For instance, if you are being underpaid, you cannot use an affirmation that says you are happy with your pay. However, You can use one that raises the confidence you have in your ability to ask for a raise. This should be a feasible raise, not something that is unlikely. For instance, you cannot make the affirmation with the intentions to raise your pay to double instead of just a bit higher. Affirmations are not magic spells. They will not be able to create something out of nothing. Use your negatives to rewrite into positives. If negative self-talk is your worst enemy, then write those things down and reframe them into positive self-talk affirmations. Make the affirmations speak to your positive goals and dreams and eliminate the negative phrases. Always use the present tense when writing an affirmation. The key to affirmations is to speak it and write it as if you are already doing it. For instance, you will not say, "I will be well prepared." Instead, you say, "I am well prepared." This shows that you have made it to the point in your goals that everything is great. Use feelings when expressing the affirmation. They are more effective if they are being stated with passion instead of a non-caring tone. Emotions are what we live for, so use some feelings and write that affirmation. Each affirmation should hold some meaning for you, not just be something to say. This needs to be a personal emotional connection to the purpose of the affirmation. What you need to remember is that affirmations are statements that utilize positive present tense feedback to overcome self-sabotaging behaviors that stem from stress, anxiety, and depression. They also work for those that live with the negative thought mentality. In this chapter, I have included several affirmations that will work to improve your life. Oftentimes, it takes a positive message to bring us out of that funk and into a much happier and calmer state. Within this chapter is that positive message. In the next chapter, I am including a large amount of journal prompts that will help you understand who you really are. Without knowing who you are, you cannot begin to move beyond the limiting beliefs. Chapter 7. Journaling Away Your Anxiety. Every single person has thoughts, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. These thoughts, hopes, and dreams are powerful to your way of life. They determine how you live your life, how you love, and what you do. Journaling can help you to get all those thoughts, dreams, and hopes down on paper and develop a plan to work towards them in your life. These thoughts clog up our minds and can seem like background noise that never ends. Most of the time, you may not even notice these thoughts that are so intrusive that they sometimes keep you up at night. If this is the case, then consider journaling so that you can get these thoughts down on paper and remove them from blocking your space within your mind. These thoughts that are continuing to block your thinking process can create anxiety and stress. One way to combat these responses is to keep a running journal of all the thoughts that are making you anxious. In order to learn about your thought process and how it works is to write it down on paper. Choose a journal that calls to you, one that makes you feel interested in using it. I have chosen a leather-bound book, but any book or notebook will do. Earlier, I briefly touched on the journaling process, but now I will go into more details. Start with a few simple headings at the top. Situation, thoughts or self-talk, how much anxiety do I feel? Leave a bit of open space to fill in these details and monitor how you are feeling over time. Make sure that you record the date so that you can keep track of how often you are experiencing anxiety and how many times in one day. You can fill in the anticipated anxiety and the anxiety that takes place during the situation. Then, use a scale to rate the anxiety levels that you are feeling. Many people do not think that a journal is something that an adult should be keeping. They remember the times in middle school and high school when they would be picked on for keeping a journal. But this is a bit different. This type of journal is designed to help you associate with your emotions and negative thinking. Some more objectives that you may experience when you consider doing a journal could be added. What will I write about? I do not have thoughts while I am anxious. I am just panicking. Although you may feel as if the anxiety is coming from nowhere, It really is stemming from a place inside your head that is having intrusive, fearful thoughts. This is why it is best for you to keep a journal. It will help you connect to these thoughts that are hard to recognize since you are not focusing on them at those moments. Consider what you were doing prior to the anxious episodes and then examine the thoughts that took place. Did you see any connections to the thoughts and feelings? Did someone trigger you prior to the episode? What did you see around you? Was your mood changed when you experienced the anxiety? There are so many things that could influence your anxiety that it is often missed in those moments that it is taking place. Even in the moments that you are experiencing anxiety, you will need to take the time to identify the problems and write a statement to help you through it. You can use a statement similar to this one. I am not sure of what is going on in my thoughts. Maybe this blank, the reason I am feeling this way. Never commit to just one solution or answer. Sometimes it is more than one thing that is affecting you. Another thing that many people may find that is hindering them from journaling their thoughts is that they do not have time to sit still and write them down. Although it is something new to do in your day, it takes minimal amounts of time to write them down. You do not need to focus too much on the writing part and more so on the identification of the anxiety and the thoughts. It is not necessary to write a whole paragraph. Just a few short sentences that really gets those thoughts out would do. If it turns into a paragraph, then you needed the brain dump, but it can be one sentence. Just make sure that one sentence is loaded. Find a time when you are not feeling so anxious to sit down and write down the thoughts. This will help you move beyond those things that are making you feel anxious. Make sure that you have a moderate feeling of anxiety and that you are exhibiting anxiety signs before you sit down to write. Without these signs, the activity would be useless. Try to find time during the situation to write down the events that took place. This is when it is fresh in your mind. This does not have to be done for long periods of time. Just write until you establish a pattern of anxiety episodes so that you can understand the problems you are having. Sometimes you may think that your thoughts look or sound stupid once you have placed them on paper. This is far from the truth, but it can be a bit daunting when you feel that way. If the thoughts or feelings look stupid or petty, then you will be able to move beyond them much easier because you will see that they are just stupid, immature, pointless fears. This will help you find the truth in the fears that are irrelevant and not justified. This will also help you move beyond the anxiety and find a happier place. Overall, the use of journals has helped other people with mood boosting. Their sense of well-being is lifted. Depression symptoms are reduced prior to events that are important to them. Intrusive thoughts and symptoms of avoidance are reduced. Working memory is improved. Journaling can be quite useful for those that suffer from PTSD as well as social anxiety disorders. Writing will enhance our mental health and help build up our brain's cognition. It reduces stress and the anxiety that you will feel on a daily basis. Our inhibitions are reduced, and we are able to develop a coherent narrative about who we are and what we want. It helps us be able to process experiences that are difficult and create anxiety. It makes events that are touchy for our nerves to be less touchy, and it exposes you to a wider knowledge of who you really are. There is a method to the journaling madness, though. So you may feel empowered when you just brain dump, but it is not going to give you the same effect if you were to actually focus on what the problem is and why you are anxious. In order to increase the well-being of your mind, body, and soul, you will need to identify the problems that you are dealing with within your head. Follow a few simple rules to make sure the journal is useful for your purpose. 1. Write in private. You need a space that is personalized, one which is free of distractions. 2. Make it a habit of writing 2 to 3 times per day. Be consistent. 3. Take time to reflect so that you can be balanced in your writing and afterward. 4. Journal about the moments that are calling you at this time. You do not have to write your trauma down. 5. Structure your journal however you feel works best for you. 6. The journal is yours and alone yours. No one else needs to see it, not even your counselor. There is a famous method that works to help you journal the thoughts that are most affecting you. This method is called Write. W. What do you need to write? R. Reflect on the subject that you are writing about. I. Investigate all the thoughts that are present during the anxiety episodes. T. Time your writing sessions and keep them under 5 minutes. E. Exit your journal with introspection. How does journaling benefit those with anxiety? Journaling lets people release the thoughts and emotions they are feeling. It also allows them to find clarity in their thoughts. It is a great way to solve a problem, as well as record information that is needed for later. You can hash out the details of any situation and find a solution easily. When you use a journal to release traumatic events, it helps you process the actions and events and then release the emotions associated with those events. You will be able to engage both of the brain's hemispheres. This allows the mind to become fully integrated with the experience. Journaling gives you focus on those areas of your life that you are dealing with. Some benefits of journaling can be found below. Journaling can help with the reduction of asthma symptoms, as well as arthritis, anxiety, depression, and PTSD, as well as other ailments. Cognitive functioning is improved with journaling. Your immune system will be strengthened. This helps with the prevention of several illnesses and diseases. It can reduce the side effects of many mental health disorders. So, what drawbacks are there to journaling? Oftentimes, if you struggle with cognitive delays, then you may find that journaling creates more stress for you. It can be due to the inability to professionally write, or it could be the comprehension level. It may even be the complexity with which you would need to write when writing down the negative thoughts. Sometimes focusing on negative thoughts often will create more stress and then anxiety. However, if you end each journaling session with some positive and affirming words, this should counteract any negative feelings towards the journaling process that you are having. A few ways to utilize journaling with strategies. Examine the different types of journaling processes and see what would fit best into your lifestyle. Gratitude. Gratitude journals are designed to help you show gratitude for all the things that you have in your life that are good. It also allows you to show gratitude for future things that are good in your life. This gives you a record of the nice things that have taken place in your life and allows you to have something to refer back to when you are experiencing those feelings of failure. Emotions. The releasing of emotions journals is designed to help you write down the emotional response that have taken place in your day. This is a way of coping with the stress of the day. It can help with the processing of those feelings and even help you to better understand them. You will be able to maximize your positive feelings and manage the negative thoughts easily. Bullet or personal. Bullet journals, as well as personal planners that are used as journals, are designed to help you keep track of important details as well as set goals that can be accomplished throughout the week or month. This helps to declutter the mind of all those tasks that need to take place for your family, home, or work environment. The science behind journaling. Can journaling help manage depression? Simply put, yes. Journaling can help you with the management of depression. Although it is not a substitution for a proper psychologist or psychiatrist, it is a great way to manage the depression symptoms and have a record for your doctor to help you with. This type of treatment for depression will complement all other forms of treatment. It can help you through several different ways. Reduce symptoms of depression through expressive writing. This can help those women that have been abused by their partners. CBT, or cognitive behavior therapy, is another way that helps reduce symptoms of depression in adolescents that are high risk. It can reduce the impact of intrusive thoughts that are found within those that are depressed. It can help college students that are on the depression scale by limiting their depression statistics. Since journaling allows you to release those emotions that have been pent up for so long, it is no wonder that many people are turning to it for help with many ailments. Journaling can help anxiety sufferers. In order to understand who you are and the thoughts that come into your head, it is good to write them down and then examine them. Take note of what you are thinking and use it to solve your problems. Find the root of your problems and the answers to solve them. By writing a journal, you can positively impact your life through having a clear mind, being calmer, letting go of pent-up anger, thoughts, and feelings, letting go of stress, exploring the anxiety and experiences around the anxiety, examining your struggles, identifying your successes, building up your self-awareness, teaching about your triggers. Track the progress while getting help. How does journaling alleviate anxiety? Journaling for 15 minutes per day will help alleviate your anxiety in an easy way. Start with what is bothering you and then move into more compelling questions. What is bothering you? Write the thoughts in your head that are bothering you. Spend a few minutes per day to figure these things out and find the answers. Use whatever tool works best for you. Write the details of what is taking place and place lines in between each entry for any additional information to be added later. Write about the current situation or a situation that took place in the past. Consider what is bothering you the most about this situation. Write about your fears that are blocking you from moving forward. Use a chronological order system. Start with a recent stressor and then explore what you are thinking will take place. Write the fears about that situation and continue to add to it. Write how all of this is affecting you in the long run. Use a journal to reduce stress and anxiety. Below are a few prompts to help get you started with reducing your anxiety and stress through journaling. 1. What is making you feel anxious right now? 2. What situations feel stressful? 3. What types of people make you feel stressed? 4. What part of this situation do you have the power to change? 5. Rate the level of anxiousness that you feel using a scale of 1 to 10. 6. What are the indications that you are feeling anxious or stressed? Where are you feeling anxiety in your body? Where are you feeling tension in your body? Are you using self-talk that is telling you that you are anxious? 7. What emotions other than anxiety are you feeling? 8. What is the worst thing that could take place? 9. What is the possibility of this to take place? 10. What have you done in the past to move beyond this feeling? 11. Which coping skills have you used to deal with anxiety? 12. At what time will you use these coping skills? 13. What are 3 things that happened which were positive? 14. What are 3 strengths that you have? 15. What is your anxiety telling you right now? 16. Is your anxiety trying to help you in any ways? What are the benefits of journaling? The benefits of journaling for all people, including those that suffer from anxiety or depression, are listed below. It provides a way to get outside your head. You are able to express the way you feel. You can keep your journal private or share it with someone that you trust. You do not have to censor who you are, and you can collect thoughts that are blocking your mind. You can achieve a sense of calm and relaxation. By writing it down, you can experience the peace that comes with letting it go. This forces you to accept what happened and let it go. You will not need to feel ashamed, stressed, or sad about anything when you are writing. Solutions are provided. There are a lot of journal prompts that can be used for anxiety and mental health. They are used to think outside the box and find your balance center point. They help you develop solutions to the problems that you are facing. Gain perspective about your life and problems. They provide you the ability to have a deeper glimpse at your mind and the thoughts that come from it. It helps you to understand the reactions that you have and ways to be honest with what you are feeling. Accountability is key. This process will help you be accountable for your actions and your goals. You will be able to see the effort that you have placed on your current goals, as well as how complacent you are being. Locate patterns and triggers. Maintaining a written log of what your mood was or the feelings you had about a situation is key to recovery. Finding what influenced your mood can help you combat it at a later date. Journal prompts to get you started. How do you choose to experience when you wake up in the morning? List 5 exact things about today. What are some of your values in life? Do you feel pressured or anxious today? If so, what brought about that feeling, and what did you do to overcome it? What is one component you can improve on? Time management, communication, etc., and how can you do this? What is one adjustment you would like to make to your morning routine? What is one adjustment you would like to make to your bed-night routine? What is one element you need to let go of? Make a list of 20 items that make you happy. Write down the lyrics to a song that makes you happy. What is it about this music that makes you sense this way? What is one region you would love to travel to and why? Have you been exercising endurance with others? If not, how can you? What is a new ability that you would like to earn and how can you analyze it? Are there any areas of your lifestyles that can be greater organized? How can you accomplish this? What can you do to stop disorganization in the future? What is one long-term aim you wish to work towards? Draw a photograph of something that makes you happy. Write about the picture. What steps have you taken towards an intention of yours, short or long-term? If you have not taken any, what steps should you be taking to work in the direction of it? What is one aspect you are scared to do, and how can you overcome it? How can I be better aware of others? Was today a hard day? If so, what made it tough, and what can you do to forestall from having days like this in the future? What is one trouble you had today, and what used to be your answer to this problem? What would be the fantastic way you could have treated it? Are you taking time to care for yourself? Do you enable yourself time to loosen up and breathe? If the answer is no, what can you do to provide yourself this time? Think about a previous mistake you made. What did you examine from the ride and how can it be applied to your future? Write about something that you were scared of. Write a letter to your future self. Write about your favorite holiday. List 3 motives for why it is your favorite. If you may want to write a letter to your body, what would it say? I make myself these 10 promises. Describe a time when you felt fulfilled. Where were you? What had you been doing? What about that moment felt so satisfying? What do your feelings sound like to you? What do your experiences seem to you? What is your favorite thing to do when the sky is cloudless and the sun hurts your eyes? If your heart could talk, what would it say? What is the thing you should do every day for a year and sense fulfilled? So some distance I've learned these classes about lifestyles. What thoughts greet you in the morning? Write about the questions swirling in your mind lately, then answer them. What am I incredibly, ridiculously, annoyingly tired of is... What track lyrics have served as a guiding light for you? If there are not any, what about a unique quote, poem, or story? If you like, locate one of these this week. Write a love letter to your favorite object. What do you take into account from your 16th birthday, after you write what happened and your feelings? What do you remember about your 21st birthday? Again, write about what took place along with your feelings. What hurts now? How can you heal it? Write about 3 things you would wake up for at 5 o'clock in the morning. It may be an activity, a certain food, or an adventure. Include as a whole lot of elements as possible. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What is your favorite component to do when it's raining? What are the things in your home that are most you? I desire to journey this for the first time. What is your favorite smell? What is your preferred sound? Where would you like to spend the week? This location can also or may no longer exist yet, and it may also or can also no longer be on this planet. Leave social media for a day or week. How does it feel? What ideas begin forming all through this quiet time? Write about how you are doing. Right now, do not censor. No need for complete sentences. Just spill. Franz Kafka eloquently said, "Anyone who continues the capability to see beauty in each age of life sincerely by no means grows old." Write about the beauty you see in your cherished ones. Then, write about the splendor you see in yourself. Write about the desires you had as a high schooler, young adult, and now. How are they different? How are they similar? If you have a purpose in mind, discover these 8 questions to make positive you virtually desire it. Describe your best day. Who would you spend it with and what would you do? What quote or quotes conjures up you on tough days? Write down the things that set off emotions of melancholy in you and pick out 1 to 3 strategies you can use to fight every one of them. Write a letter to your teenage self telling him or her all the matters you wish he or she knew. Discuss 1 element that happened today that made you happy. What phrases do you want any individual would say to you when you're having a tough time? What does self-care suggest to you, and how can you compose this into your day-by-day routine? Discuss 5 things you desire others knew about you. Describe a time you made a poor choice. What did you analyze from the situation? And if you could have a do-over, what would you alternate about the situation? Identify 1 element you are searching forward this week and explain why it makes you sense excited. What songs pick up your spirits when you're feeling down? What inspires you? Create a bucket list of matters you'd like to accomplish or trip in the subsequent 12 months. If you want to, you can alternate 1 issue about yourself. What would you alternate and why? Discuss 3 matters you did right today. Write a list of 10 matters you are thankful for. If you may want to have an hour with anybody, living or dead, from your past, who would you pick out and what would you ask him or her? Write about an important character in your life who you are grateful for. What do you admire about this person? Why does he or she have such an impact on your life? And what would you like to inform them? How do you choose to sense tomorrow? And what 3 matters can you do today to make sure you feel that way? What's the most embarrassing aspect that ever occurred to you? What are your exceptional personal traits? Write down the things that set off feelings of anxiety in you and become aware of 1 to 3 techniques you can use to combat every one of them. Pick 1 effective phrase you'd like to focus on this week and brainstorm a list of matters you can do to ride this feeling each day. Describe a situation in which you helped another person. What did you do? How did it make them feel? How did it make you feel? Describe a hard situation you have encountered. How did you cope with it, and what did you learn from the experience? What is your 5-year plan? Map out all of the matters you want to do to reach your goals. Describe your favorite time of year. What do you love about it? Who do you spend it with? And what things to do you enjoy at some point in that time? What makes you feel fulfilled? Make a list of matters that are retaining you returned from your wants, needs, goals, and desires. Be brutally sincere with yourself and brainstorm approaches to overcome these obstacles. What are your best qualities? Identify 3 matters in your lifestyle that you should be grateful for, however small. What feelings do these things evoke in you, and why aren't you grateful for them? Write a letter to anybody who has done you wrong. Discuss what they did and how it made you feel, and then forgive them and let it go. What is the largest life lesson you have learned to date? Describe how the lesson was once learned and how it has impacted your life. In this chapter, I have included several journal prompts that will bring you a better understanding of how your mind works and how much effort you will have to put into the process of correcting your limiting, self-defeating thoughts. Within a few short weeks, you can use these journal prompts and start to see big changes in your anxiety and stress level. In the next chapter, you will be able to learn all you need to about how to use exposure therapy to change your anxiety and develop less fear and stress. By being exposed to your own fears, you will be able to move beyond the fear and face it head on. Chapter 8. Exposure Therapy for Anxiety. It is ordinary to want to avoid social situations that cause you nervousness because anxiety does not feel good. However, when engaging in exposure therapy, the rule is that non-permanent ache will lead to long-term gain. By learning to face the situations you have been warding off, you can discover firsthand whether or not your feared expectations are no longer probable to occur, and how nicely you are coping. It can also be a notable confidence builder as you persistently face situations and discover out that people will not laugh at you while pointing. You can speak in front of others without the fear of sounding stupid. Not one single person cares about mistakes because everyone makes them. Friends will not notice that you were sweating on stage. They do not care. Other people enjoy being around you. Learn what your social anxiety is doing to you and why it triggers. To face your fears, it is beneficial to be aware of what your specific fears are about socializing or performing totally based on the situation at hand. For example, are you afraid of pronouncing hi to a coworker or asking a stranger for directions? You may dislike making phone calls or avoid going out for happy hour with coworkers. Refer back to the list you made when you spent some time watching your social anxiousness and figuring out the conditions that cause your anxiety. Common sorts of feared social conditions consist of public speaking, casual socializing, small talk, being assertive, dealing with conflict, being the core of attention, consuming in front of others, speak to the authority figures, and interacting with unfamiliar people. Build your fear tree. Once you recognize what makes you anxious socially, you are equipped to create a fear tree. A worry tree is an ordered list or hierarchy of your triggers starting with the one that is less scary and moving up to the one that is the scariest. For example, if you have performance fears, pronouncing good morning to your boss may additionally be a situation that is low on the fear tree due to the fact that it solely inspires a concern of 1 out of 10. But asking your boss for a raise may additionally be a state of affairs that is very excessive on the tree because it evokes a 9 out of 10 fear. Climb upon that fear tree. Once you have constructed a concern tree, you are equipped to face your fears with the aid of putting yourself in situations that cause you anxiety. Starting with the least scary situation, repeat that activity or enter that social situation, for example, announcing hi to a coworker every morning, until you start to sense much less anxious doing it. Once you can enter that state of affairs, besides experiencing a great deal of anxiousness on several occasions, move on to the subsequent situation on the list. Key points to managing your social anxiety. Bottom up. Start with the best object on the worry ladder first, i.e., fear equals 2 out of 10, and work your way up. Track progress. Track your anxiety stage throughout the publicity exercise in order to see the gradual decline in your concern of a specific situation. Use the Facing Fears form to assist you to do this. Feeling anxious when you do these workout routines is a sign that you are on the proper track. If you are now not anxious, you may be too low on your ladder. And if you are feeling flooded with excessive anxiety, chances are you began too high up on the ladder. Remember that, regardless of how extreme your worry is, it will top and then level off. What goes up has to come down. Even if you do nothing about it, the worry will finally go away on its own. Do not avoid. During exposure, attempt now not to interact in refined avoidance, e.g., thinking about different things, drinking water, staying near an exit, etc. Avoidance simply makes it more difficult to get over your fears in the long term. Do not rush. It is essential to try to stay in the scenario until your worry drops with the aid of at least half, e.g. from 6 out of 10 to 3 out of 10, or until you note a giant discount from your fear at the beginning, e.g. from 7 out of 10 to 4 out of 10. Also, center your attention on overcoming one worry item at a time. It is a precise concept to do the exposure persistently until the first object on the hierarchy no longer motivates tons of trouble for you. Stick with it. Do the exposure workouts as frequently as you can. You are trying to build up advantageous experiences to change previous ones the place you felt defeated by your social anxiety. Too long of a gap between workouts makes this more difficult. Recruiting helps. Enlist the assist of household and friends. It can help to locate anyone to work with who you can talk to calmly and positively while you are doing the steps. Make positive that the helper you recruit is not over-sympathizing or doesn't ask how you are feeling at the end. This will make it more difficult for you to focus on the steps and to remain positive. Meeting new people. Once you have won some self-belief in going through social situations, it may be time to begin wondering about increasing your social network. For some people with social anxiety, their anxiousness might also have averted them from enjoying activities, lifestyles, situations, or gaining experiences like their same-aged peers. Now that they are gaining self-belief and feeling much less anxious, they can also want to begin to do things they earlier avoided. One such place is creating new relationships. Having possibilities to meet different humans and strengthen friendships is especially important. Social situations that grant opportunities for repeated contact are the fantastic opportunities to improve friendships. Try and brainstorm approaches to get connected with other people. Here are some ideas of where you can meet people. Work or faculty. Talk to coworkers, go for lunch together, share espresso breaks. Play a sport, exercise. Join a fitness center or walking group. Play soccer or tennis. Join a club organization, travel club, trekking group, singles group, etc. Take a category, painting, pottery, language route, e.g. Spanish, French, etc. Volunteer, community centers, hospitals, charitable organizations. Take crew lessons, swimming, dance. Go to sports activities facilities, skate park, ski hill, etc. Dating services, online dating. What is exposure therapy? Therapy through exposure is a psychological treatment that was developed to help people confront their fears. When people are fearful of something, they tend to keep away from the feared objects, things to do, or situations. Although this avoidance would help reduce emotions of worry in the short term, over the long term it can make the concern turn out to be even worse. In such situations, a psychologist might recommend a program of exposure therapy in order to help damage the sample of avoidance and fear. In this form of therapy, psychologists create a protected environment in which to expose persons to the matters they fear and avoid. The exposure to the feared objects, things to do, or situations in a secure environment helps limit worry and minimize avoidance. Therapy via publicity has been scientifically verified to be a useful remedy or remedy component for a variety of problems, including panic disorder, phobias, obsessive-compulsive disorder, social anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. There are countless variants of therapy using exposure. Your psychologist can help you decide which strategy is exceptional for you. These include in vivo exposure. This is done by facing directly at an object that is feared, activity or situation in real life. For example, someone with snake fear might be asked to hold a snake, or someone with social anxiety might be asked to give a speech to an audience. Imaginal exposure. This is done by imagining vividly the object that is feared, situation, or activity. For example, someone with post-traumatic stress disorder may be told to recall an experience and then describe the traumatic experience to reduce fear feelings within them. Virtual reality exposure. In some cases, VR technology is used when in vivo exposure is not practical. For example, Someone with a flying fear might be placed on a flight that is virtual in the office of the psychologist, utilizing equipment that adds sight, smell, and sound associated with an airplane. Interoceptive exposure. Physical and deliberate sensations that are brought on which will not create harm, although they are feared. For example, someone with a panic disorder will be asked to run in place to speed up the heart rate and to learn that they are not dying of a dangerous sensation. Exposure remedy can additionally be paced in a way that is one of a kind. These include graded exposure. The psychologist helps the consumer construct an exposure worry hierarchy, in which feared objects, things to do, or conditions are ranked according to difficulty. They begin with mildly or moderately challenging exposures, then progress to tougher ones. Flooding. Using the exposure worry hierarchy to begin publicity with the toughest tasks. Systematic desensitization. In some cases, publicity can be mixed with leisure workout routines to make them feel extra manageable and accompany the feared objects, activities, or conditions with relaxation. Exposure therapy is a concept to assist in various ways, including habituation. Over time, people locate that their reactions to feared objects or situations decrease. Extinction. Exposure can assist to weaken the undiscovered associations between feared objects, activities, or conditions and awful outcomes. Self-efficacy. Exposure can assist to show the purchaser that he or she is successful in confronting his or her fears and can control the feelings of anxiety. Emotional processing. During exposure, the consumer can research to connect new, greater practical beliefs about feared objects, things to do, or situations, and can come to be greater satisfied with the experience of fear. How can you use it to combat your anxiety? Graded exposure compared to flooding. Most exposure therapists use a graded approach in which mildly feared stimuli are focused first, observed via greater strongly feared stimuli. This approach involves establishing an exposure hierarchy in which feared stimuli are ranked in accordance to their predicted fear reaction. Traditionally, higher-level exposures are no longer tried until the patient's fear subsides for the lower-level exposure. By contrast, some therapists have used flooding, in which the most challenging stimuli are addressed from the opening of treatment. In medical practice, these tactics appear equally effective. However, most patients and clinicians pick out a graded method due to the fact of the private relief level. In vivo compared to imagination. In vivo publicity refers to real-world confrontation of feared stimuli. Sometimes in vivo exposure is not possible. It would be hard and hazardous for anyone with combat-related PTSD to experience the sights, sounds, and smells of combat in real life. In such cases, imaginal publicity can be a useful alternative. In imaginal exposure, the patient is requested to vividly think about and describe the feared stimulus. In this case, a hectic memory, usually using present tense language and which includes details about external sights, sounds, smells, and inner thoughts, emotional cues. In latest years, virtual truth exposure remedy, where patients are immersed in a virtual world that approves them to confront their fears, has been examined as an alternative capability of imaginal exposure, and preliminary information suggests that it can be pretty effective. Imaginal exposures can also be beneficial for confronting fears of worst-case scenarios, such as patients with obsessive-compulsive ailment who think that they would possibly contract a deadly illness, patients with social phobia who think they are being ridiculed, to reduce the aversiveness of the thought. Conclusion. Now that you have read this book and learned all that you can about how to alleviate your social anxiety disorder naturally and easily, the real test is to put these tools to use. Try out the techniques in this book and see which one will work for you. Challenge yourself to eat right and exercise more. Make it a habit of using your journal to identify with your thoughts and feelings and work through those emotions that are preventing you from moving beyond complacency and fear. Find a way to meditate effectively without distraction. Build a tree of exposure therapy tools and develop a test to expose yourself to the fears and events that make you anxious. Sometimes it takes medical intervention to change something that is bothering us. But with a little work, you can add in some alternative remedies that will bring you a higher connection to your anxiety and help you reduce the effects that your anxiety has on your mind, body, and spirit. You know, just like I do, that anxiety can be debilitating. It restricts your ability to leave your home and makes it impossible to have healthy relationships. If you are not happy with living like this, then take a chance and utilize the tools in this book for your benefit. Sometimes it takes climbing a mountain to reach the goals that you wish to accomplish. Let combating anxiety be that mountain. If you are suffering from severe bouts of anxiety, then seek medical attention. Your doctor will be able to advise you on what to use to alleviate your anxiety. He will also be able to help you with alternative methods that are not listed in this book, which will reduce the effects of stress and anxiety on your body. Remember, in order to heal, you must take care of your body. In order to do this properly, you need to see your doctor regularly, eat healthily, and exercise properly. This has been Social Anxiety Detox. Practical solutions for dealing with everyday anxiety, fear, awkwardness, shyness, and how to be yourself in social situations. Written by Stephen West. Narrated by Raymond Lawrence. Copyright 2018 by Stephen West. Production copyright by Stephen West.